This podcast is brought to you by WTOE Radio at tourise.org.
Hi, this is Cheryl Echevarria of Echevarria Travel, your one-on-one travel agent making your travel dreams come true, home of the independent traveler. Whether you're sighted, blind, or disabled, whether you use a cane, guide dog, or sighted guide, Echevarria Travel will get you there safely. Come and learn more about traveling independently.
Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go. Come with me, let's go.
Hi, this is Cheryl Echevarria, host of the Echevarria Travel Show. And we are back after having a month off. I was at the 72nd Annual National Convention in Dallas, Texas, from June 30th through July 5th. It was a very exciting convention this year. We'll get into all different kinds of discussions about that. We're going to be talking tonight with my very first guest, Robert Tolster, who is my business development manager with Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines. And we'll be talking about Royal Caribbean and cruising and the cruise for the NFB of New Jersey Convention, which is coming up April 13th through April 18th, 2013. And if you didn't book, you still have time to do so, and I'll tell you how to do that. And we'll also be talking about this heat that is going on across the country and how to protect yourself from the heat and keep hydrated and keeping your guide dogs hydrated so nobody gets sick, and we don't need anybody getting sick during the summertime when everybody's on vacation. I will also be talking about some last-minute getaway ideas for people who may be on a budget and just don't want to fly anywhere or take the train, some local activities that will be available to you in every single state wherever you live. So we're gonna take a 2-minute break. When we come back, we're gonna have my very first guest of the Echevarria Travel Show, Robert Tolster, on. So stay tuned, sit back and enjoy the Echevarria Travel Show.
Don't go anywhere. There'll be more show right after these messages.
Come with me, let's go.
And we are back. Like I said, I'm having my very first guest on, Mr. Robert Tolster, who's my business development manager with Royal Caribbean. Robert, are you there?
I am. Hi, Cheryl. How are you tonight?
I am wonderful, and I want to thank you again for coming on the show and talking about Royal Caribbean, one of my favorite cruise lines.
Well, thank you very much. It's great. Again, it's great to be here, and very objectively, I have to say Royal Caribbean is one of my favorite cruise lines, too. It's my favorite cruise line, as a matter of fact.
Well, I hope so. Well, as people already know, since I've been advertising this, and Joe Ruffalo from the New Jersey affiliate, we're actually doing the NFB in New Jersey's fundraiser cruise on the Explore the Seas on April 13th through April 18th, and we're very excited about it. And in fact, Robert gave us, about 10 of us, a ship tour of Royal Caribbean's Explore the Sea. And Robert, I would really like your feedback on us, and as well as what was your experience working with a group of blind people traveling on the ship tour that day?
Well, I thought it was terrific, and I can only assume that you agree. I mean, we really did have a great day. Everybody got to the terminal on time. Everybody together. We went through a simulated guest check-in experience in that because there is security, everybody has to follow proper procedure. And once they get through security, you guys met us at the guest desk where we checked you in for the ship tour. We, upon clearance, we proceeded to the ship, and we just spent a great afternoon touring some of the public areas, some of the staterooms. We visited, venues on board the ship that we thought the group would appreciate knowing something about. It was great. Cheryl, I know you have a service animal, and that was actually the first time that I had, done a ship tour with, having the service animal. So that was a great opportunity to see what, as a brand and as a company, we do to accommodate our guests who have, in this case, need a service animal and or any other type of challenge, be it physical or visual, hearing, what have you. We are, I must say, a partner that makes every effort to accommodate all of our guests.
Can you please go into a little bit about some of the services that Royal Caribbean offers for people with disabilities, especially with the blind?
Sure. We do have, first of all, let me just say that we have accessible staterooms. We offer, on certain parts of the ship, our signage also includes Braille. We have, ramps for those people who have, need some assistance if they're in a wheelchair or in a scooter or something similar to that. So we do make it very easier for our, in this case, visually challenged guests to get around on board.
And I can attest that now with other cruise ships, we didn't get to really meet the person on the Royal Caribbean Explorer of the Seas, but does every cruise ship have an access department manager or access director on each ship, or how does that work with Royal Caribbean?
Our access department is located shoreside. So when our travel partners, such as you, Cheryl, go about the business of creating a group or for that matter, an individual reservation, and there is a requirement, that our guest needs to have some sort of accommodation in either the stateroom or, there's a dietary issue or if, for example, with you, a service animal, then we note our booking accordingly, and we make sure that our access department is aware of those needs and requirements, and our access department records that information and makes sure it is transmitted to the ship so that when our guest comes on board, all that information is accessible and available to our onboard staff so that we're prepared when that guest comes on board, so that any requirements or challenges that require our attention are met.
Thank you for explaining all that. I'd like to say that the amenities, especially on the Explorer of the Seas that we toured, actually has an ice skating rink. It has a art studio. It has a wonderful dining room. It has buffets. It has the entertainment every night. Of course, you have the area for adults only, for the swimming area, for families, and for the kids area, which everybody just loved. And you also have on all your ships Johnny Rockets.
We don't have Johnny Rockets on almost every ship, but I think there's one or two right now where we don't have Johnny Rockets on. But we have, again, excuse me, we have a lot of ships that actually all of our ships in the fleet provide additional venues and opportunities outside of the standard stuff. We try to make our guests feel comfortable to the extent that, we offer them as much as possible and give them the opportunity to enjoy things that are unique to the cruising experience. Now, in the case of Johnny Rockets, we do have a great Johnny Rockets on board the Explorer of the Seas. If you're familiar with Johnny Rockets, you know that it has the hamburgers and the shakes and all that stuff. We also have singing and dancing waiters in Johnny Rockets, and they will, upon occasion, certainly once or twice during the course of the sailing, they will entertain those guests who are dining inside Johnny Rockets at the moment. We've had a lot of positive feedback from past guests who said, that was really great, we really enjoyed it, and if we come back on the Explorer of the Seas, one of the reasons we're coming back is to see a repeat performance. We always try to, as we say at Royal Caribbean, deliver the wow. Our guests are very important to us, and we always want them to feel comfortable and at home. Basically, the passengers on board any given sailing, we consider them our guests, and we treat them as anyone would treat a guest in their home, and that's how we look at it.
I got you. Now, in reference to service animals, do you guys supply life jackets for them? I know there are certain suppliers like Special Needs at Sea or anything like that. Does Royal Caribbean offer that to guests with service animals, a life jacket or something like that when we, God forbid of anything? I know during the muster drill that, everybody has to go to the muster drill and learn how to, use the life jackets. But if somebody like myself is bringing her guide dog on the ship, will there be a life jacket available for my guide dog?
Well, that's a good question. Backing up just a little bit with respect to the muster drill, we changed that a bit over the last couple of years where we don't now require all of our guests to, go out on board the deck. We have our guests meet in certain selected venues of the ship where the muster guidelines are reviewed, if one of our guests happens to be physically challenged or visually challenged or hearing impaired, whatever the situation may be, then we make accommodations for them as well during those muster drills.
Okay,
and
great.
With respect to your question on the life jacket for the service animals, I don't know the answer to that. I will find out, though. That's a very good point that's never been addressed to me. I would assume that we do, in the event that if we are going to have a service animal on board with our guests, that we also need to ensure the safety of the animal.
That's great. I know Lenny has the 800 number up on the screen. I don't have it on my end to read out what it is, so I'm hoping that if people really want to call in and speak to Rob, it's 888-572-0141, and you could call in and access a question to Robert or to myself about the cruise that we're going on anything Royal Caribbean that Robert can answer. But the lines are open, so if you want to call in, now is a good time to do so. Robert, you were telling me earlier about your first experience on cruising. Now, my first experience was back in 2010. Well, how long ago? I think you mentioned it was about 10 years ago that you went on your first cruise and your first experience.
Yes, actually I did. I went on my first cruise back in 2002, and I had never been on a cruise before. And how this all came about, it's actually a very interesting story. I have a friend. He still works for the cruise line, as a matter of fact. He had worked for them for several years back in 2002, and he had many times asked me to go with him on a cruise. And I had backed off because, I wasn't familiar with cruising. I didn't think that it appealed to me. And I said, well, one day, thank you very much for your generous offer. Maybe I will. And we just kept on going back and forth with that. One day he called me on the phone and he said, I just want to tell you that we're booked. We're going on a cruise on this date, so pack your bags. No questions asked. So, when somebody tells you you're going on a cruise, you reply, thank you very much.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I packed my bags. We made our way onto the ship that day, went to the stateroom, unpacked, and then we took a walk up to the pool deck, and we enjoyed something to drink, and we just just looked around and tried to absorb the experience, if you will. And the ship pulled out of port, and I took one breath of that fresh sea air, and I turned to my friend and I said, I waited all my life for this. Thank you. I knew right away that it was the right choice, that I was going to enjoy every minute of it, and I've never enjoyed any type of vacation more than a cruise vacation. It's just amazing. There is so much to see and so much to do and so much to experience on board. There's many different dining opportunities. There are activities which are available for all of our guests every day, both outside and inside. The great thing about being a guest on a cruise is that you, as the guest, are in charge for that amount of time you're on the cruise. You do as much as little as you want to do. You participate as much or as little as you want. If you just want to sit back and enjoy the fresh air and relax in a lounge chair at the pool deck, you can do that. I mean, you can, pardon me, you can participate in a variety of recreational activities. Again, both indoor and outdoor, whatever suits your fancy. It's all up to you. You're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, exactly. Nelson and I, we just fell in love with cruising, and we think it's the cat's meow. I know nobody uses that terminology anymore, but we still do. But we just love it. If we're not cruising, you could cruise to almost anywhere in the world. 7 continents. Speaking of which, are there any we're primarily? I know that, of course, that we're going to Bermuda, but can you give us a little history of where Royal Caribbean does cruise to?
Sure. We consider ourselves a worldwide company, and we actually service over 150 global destinations. We have a variety of domestic ports, and we also sail from several international ports. We, during the summer season, we sail, this year we have 11 ships that do Europe. We sail during the summer season, we do Alaska. During the other time periods of the year, we sail Australia and New Zealand. Of course, we have a terrific presence in the Caribbean, South America during our winter, which is South America's summer. We're there, and we do a couple of one-off cruises, as a matter of fact, even to Hawaii, which are very popular. So we really do provide a very wide window of opportunity in terms of where our clients, our guests can sail. We want to make sure that everybody has, choices that they can make. And to that degree, we, again, service 150 global destinations.
I want to step back a little bit and talk about the cruise for the NFB in New Jersey. Now, I know the deposit area is closed, but should other people listening to this hear that there's this cruise we're doing, can I still book people even though, what do I want to say, even though that those prices that were originally offered in the group are now closed. If somebody wanted to book into this group, I could still, they have to be subject to current pricing, but I could take that existing group, existing individual and put it into our group.
Yeah, there's again, I don't have your group in front of me and to specifically speak to that, but generally speaking, when a travel partner decides she wants to promote a group to a select group of clients, what she does is she secures some inventory, and she has a certain amount of time to promote and to sell that inventory to her clients. After that inventory meets its option date and she's booked those clients during that option time. If additional guests want to sell, we are happy to have them come on board. We do ask, of course, that they pay the prevailing rate. We're no longer able to offer them the group rate because that again, that option is extended. But yeah, we love to have people come on board. So how many cabins do you currently have in the group, Cheryl?
We have 12.
Okay. Yep.
We have 12 staterooms booked already, and I know the deposit ended. In fact, Royal Caribbean was gracious enough to extend the deposit time 3 times for me, and we got a couple extra people after our national convention that booked. So we were very happy that we were able to do that. Lenny, do we have any calls on the line at all? Okay. Robert, I want to thank you again for coming on tonight. What I would like to do is just go over to the Royal Caribbean. Not only has Royal Caribbean, it's Royal Caribbean, Celebrity, and Azamara.
Right.
Which Celebrity, I guess, there's 3 tiers. I'm going to assume that Royal Caribbean is, the typical friends, family, younger crowd. Celebrity, which is a little more geared to maybe even the older generation, and then the Azamara is the luxury or the top tier for Royal Caribbean, or you want to just correct me or just give me a little history of all 3?
Sure. Yeah, let me just give you a quick overview of how that looks and the way we operate. We have a parent company. It's called Royal Caribbean Cruises Limited. And below that parent company, they own 3 individual and unique brands. They own Royal Caribbean International, they own Celebrity Cruises, and they own Azamara Club Cruises. Royal Caribbean International is the certainly in my opinion, I guess, the premium offering in the mass market product line. Celebrity Cruises is more of a premium brand in and of itself, and Azamara Cruises we like to think of as a boutique brand with 2 jewel box ships. So Royal Caribbean has 22 ships in its fleet. Celebrity, I believe, don't quote me on this, has 11, and Azamara Club, as I mentioned earlier, has 2 ships in its fleet.
That's okay. I'm not you in. I hope you're not grading me because even though I've studied the University of WoW and all that other stuff, I like you, I'm not a computer. I don't remember everything. That's why I've been asking you these questions.
Sure, not a problem.
We're coming to the end of our time with Robert Tolster. And again, I want to thank Robert and Royal Caribbean for the great service that you guys have been offering me and to my clients and to the NFB in New Jersey. And I will hopefully be seeing you next week at our Travel Agent Association meeting. And I just want to say again, thank you, Robert, very much for working with us.
Well, thank you, Cheryl, very much for having me on as your very first guest. I'm very honored, and we enjoy working with you. You have been a terrific travel partner for us. We really do value our travel agents, our travel partners. They really do their utmost to bring business to our brand, and we will always be loyal to them. And to
thank you very much. When we come back from our break, I will be talking about the 72nd National Federation of the Blind Convention. I'll also be talking about some last-minute getaways and ideas for you, for your friends, family, or there's some local ideas that maybe you never even thought of. So enjoy the break. Listen to the commercials, Robert. I hope you'll be listening, even though we are done with our conversation, that you'll listen to the rest of the show. And please say hello to Thomas Cherry for me. He's originally from Long Island, so great guy. So talk to you soon, Robert. When we come back, again, we'll be talking about the convention, some last-minute getaways, so stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment.
Hi, I'm Keith Zhao, your announcer here at WTOE Radio Network. We're going to take a little bit long with this break to save our files for podcasts. So don't go anywhere, because there'll be more of the Echevarria Travel Show in just a bit.
I had such a great night so far with Robert Tolster of Royal Caribbean, and now we get to talk about the National Convention. It was an extraordinary time. It was the 72nd Annual National Convention of the National Federation of the Blind, and it was in Dallas, Texas at the Hilton Anatole. And if you're with the NFB or not, we welcome you to our conventions and to our meetings and to our affiliates. For the next 6 years, we will be in Orlando, Florida, so stay tuned for more information on the 2013 convention that will be in Orlando, Florida. Before I forget, I also want to give you my information. I keep forgetting to do that tonight. For more information about Cheryl Echevarria and Echevarria Travel, you could go to www.echevarriatravel.com. Our business number is 631-456-5394. And we have our email is reservations@echevarriatravel.com. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, all the social media, Twitter. So look us up, ask us questions. Speaking of questions, if you have any questions tonight, the lines are open, and the 800 number for us tonight is 1-888-572-0141. So give us a call, and we'd love to hear from you tonight. I'd like to send a shout out to the Travel and Tourism Division. I had my very first division meeting as the president of the NFB Travel and Tourism Division. We have brand new officers. Some are old but are in new positions. I'm the official president. I had taken over for Don Gilmore last year, and this year was my first run being elected as president. Maurice Shackelford, who is down in Georgia, he's my vice president. Secretary is Margot Downey from Buffalo, New York. Treasurer, again, is Milton Taylor from Utah. And we have 3 board members, Amy Barron from Minneapolis, Minnesota. We also have Jamal Powell from Illinois, and we have Daniel Carr from Texas. So a shout out to all the officers, and we have some great stuff going on for the year. We are trying to plan a trip to Utah sometime in 2013, 2014, and we are going to have our first meeting on August 27th. So anybody that's interested in attending, please send us out some information, and we'll give you an email of the meeting information. Going back to the convention, we were in Dallas, Texas. We had Travelocity there. We have a caller. It's Joe Ruffalo, the president of the NFB in New Jersey. Hello, Joe. Are you there?
I am here and proud to be on with you and Robert. I was part of that tour back in May and appreciated everyone's efforts to make it work, and it worked well. We had a good handful of people on that tour, and either those who were on the tour already had booked, some didn't, and after the tour they did book. So keep those tours coming. It's a great way to sell the opportunity to spend our money wisely and be on a ship that cares about us, which was wonderful. Well, my wife had a question, and you went over pretty much the entire ship, restaurants and the skating rink and the pool and the clubs. She had a question. She's not here tonight. The question reads like this. Does your ship have a gangplank on it? She wants me to walk off the gangplank after we're out to sea for about a half a day.
Well, Joe, you missed Robert. He was on the first half an hour of the show. But I have to tell you a little secret. All of them do. And not only do they have gangplanks, but the cannons where they shoot the cannonballs out of. They could dig one up, and you and Nelson, we could just shoot you guys off the ship.
I'm sure you'll be the first one giving us a push. Very, very, very well appreciated. But Joe, look, good luck to you. Keep up the great work with your entrepreneurialism and your presidency in the travel division, travel and tourism division. And I know we'll have some other people after this call probably want to give you a call to see if they can join us on our cruise on April 13 through 18, and you'll make that work. So thank you so much.
Not a problem, Joe. We'll talk to you soon. And remember, Joe is on what week of the month are you on? The second or the third Wednesday of the month?
I'm on the third week, third Wednesday. Very quickly, every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, our show's hosted by members of the National Federation of the Blind. The first Wednesday is Cheryl's show. The second Wednesday is a show hosted by Jane Degenshine and Jerry Marino on the Bright Side. And then the third week is Through Our Eyes, hosted by myself. And the fourth show is Looking Good Without Looking with Linda Thomas and Joanna Backman. So keep Wednesday night, 8 o'clock open, and we'll try to teach and try to learn also. So that's what we're doing.
Have a great night, Joe. We'll talk to you soon.
You too, my dear.
And as you heard, that's Joe Ruffalo. He's the president of the NFB in New Jersey. Some things also, like I said, we were talking about the great convention that the NFB has every year. It's a great learning opportunity. The Secretary of Transportation, Raymond LaHood, was there. And also another note out there that, remember, we're working very hard on the HR 3086 to make sure that all disabled people do not get paid less than the minimum wage. That's very important out there. That's one of the big issues that the NFB is working on, besides working to get Braille in school and education for everybody and employment for everybody. So that's important. I mean, I own my own business. I'm blind. So if I could be a travel agent and people can do anything that they set their minds to with the proper training and the proper education. Back at the ranch or back at the convention, We had a wonderful barbecue again, hosted by the Texas affiliate. We also had on July 4th, we honored our veterans, and President Joe Ruffalo is a veteran of the Vietnam era. And we had about 31 members of the veterans, and it's like a big family when we come together. A highlight for me anyway, and of course people in New Jersey, we went to see Jersey Boys. That's the Broadway show of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. And I have a special heart with that show. My cousin, Brad Weinstock, who is from New Jersey, he's a Jersey boy, plays Frankie Valli on the touring show of Jersey Boys. It's tour 2. So if you're out there and want to see Brad Weinstock in the Jersey Boys, it's tour 2. So that's a shout out to him. Some other things we'll be talking about. After convention came back and everybody's all conventioned out and, everybody's relaxed again and looking to do for, something else the rest of the summer, but you don't want to spend a lot of money to do it. You don't want to go on a cruise. You don't want to fly any place. You want to do things locally. I just recently did an article for a Blind Ambitious group, and I've been writing a column for them for the last 2 or 3 months, and it's about, summer's not over yet, what to do on a budget. And I tell people, I'm on Long Island. That's if you're looking at the state of New York, it's a little thumb out of Long Island. But anyway, we have great things to do locally. People don't go outside sometimes to check out what's around them. We have great wineries. We get great museums. Long Island has the New York Mets. We have the Long Island Islanders. We got out in the Bronx, we got the Yankees. We got the Bronx Zoo. New York has, a lot of people haven't even been to, New York City to see a show or do a walking tour or a bus tour. I live, and I'm sure everybody lives in the greatest state, but I believe New York is the greatest state in the Union. Basically, what I'm trying to get out to everybody is, go out your own front door and walk down the street and either take a bus ride or take a train or go with your family and friends and do things locally. You don't have to spend overnight in a hotel. Going out on vacation could be just a drive out to see the rest of your state, whether it be 2 or 3 hour drive, or what you can do is just drive, and then if you get tired, go to a hotel for the evening and check out what's there. There's so many things you could do locally in your own area. Activities you can do, fishing and camping between spring, summer, and fall, and some people actually like to do that in the wintertime. Go out, go camping. I used to be a Girl Scout. I love the smell of the fire by the camp area we're in, and cooking hot dogs or beans, or having, some people actually had the portable barbecues there, and you have your lake, you can go out and go trout fishing. I mean, I remember as a kid, and especially people with young children, take them out fishing, spend the day with them. My dad took us, he grew up in Brooklyn, so what did he know about fishing? But he took us to the local Poconos for the day, and we go out, and I learned how to put my own worm on the hook. Yuck, but I did it, and we caught a fish, and we cooked them out on the open fire and everything, and it was the best fish I ever had. I mean, I'm sure we've had other fish, but because I did it with my dad, it tasted even better. Or you could go out if you're along the, eastern or western coast, or down by Florida or down by Louisiana and all that. There's plenty of boat trips to go on for the day. There's so many things to do out there. I also wanted to talk about, with this heat, that people should protect themselves. We are going through one of the worst summers that we've had in a long time. I mean, from dust storms to droughts to heavy rain. So we got to take it when we can take it for traveling. Myself being diabetic, or people with other disabilities that are not physical, maybe diabetic, or you have a heart condition, or a young child, or somebody elderly, make sure yourselves are well hydrated. The worst things that happen this time of year, you're not drinking enough and people pass out, and it's not a fun feeling. Make sure you eat enough. With the heat, people don't like to eat, but you need your strength up. Also, people with guide dogs, if people always think, oh, the dog is pant. Yeah, dogs pant. That's their natural air conditioning. But with the heat, make sure you keep some ice packs around, or cool washcloths, get their heads wet a little bit in their bellies and under their arms, so they cool off. They really need that help cooling off. And also check on the elderly. If you know people that are sick and can't get out of their homes, make sure you go by and check them out and make sure that they're okay. They got air conditioning, or they're at a cooling center. Those are very good to take advantage of when the heat gets too bad for you. If it's not too hot out, enjoy the day. Make sure you put on your suntan lotion. Those SPFs stand for how many minutes you can be out in the sun without getting sunburned. So if it's 30, you can be out in 30 minutes, and then you need to reapply. Make sure you keep reapplying. What are other some of the advice I can give in reference to traveling protectively? Carry ice, carry a first aid kit, and getting back to, traveling locally. If you're blind and you can't drive, this is a great time to get together with friends and family that maybe you haven't seen in a while. Take your Accessoride, or maybe learn your mobility skills a little better. And every time there's a new area that I want to go to, I mean, I know my basics, and I get out and I take the bus. And if it's someplace new, I try to find out what's around there, some points of interest, so I can get around and find my way around. Whenever I travel, mostly I travel with my husband and my daughter. But in reference to traveling to Dallas, I traveled by myself with my guide dog. And I did ask for assistance because that Dallas, I flew into Love Field, which is another airport in Dallas, Texas. And if it's not an area I'm familiar with, I will ask for assistance to walk me through the security, or get me to pick up my luggage, and to meet my car that I had waiting for me at the airport. So what I'm trying to say here, in reference to somebody like us who is blind, don't be afraid to ask for help. I mean, yes, we're independent, but we also need help. We also need the help whenever we can need the help. Don't be afraid to ask for it. Some people think, oh, well, I'm independent and I shouldn't be asking for the help. Believe me, even people that are sighted and not disabled ask for help all the time, and there's no shame in doing so. What else? And I want to also speak about tonight some advice for upcoming planning. If you're looking to do a vacation outside your hometown, is Thanksgiving and Christmas is coming up. And it's the best time now to start planning your vacation for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and especially for spring break. I'm getting families now that are calling me up, and I want to go away somewhere for spring break with my kids. You have to remember, everybody else is doing the same thing, so I would suggest when you're either calling me, which I hope you're going to do, or another travel agent, or do it on your own, please have more than one destination that you would like to go to, because places like Disney World or Universal Studios or coming to New York or wherever you want to go may already be booked because people do plan at least sometimes a year in advance to go on vacation. It's not unheard of because that way people can put deposits down on their trip, and then payment plans can be arranged, and depending on where you're going, either 45 or 60 or 90 days prior to your arrival, that will be when your final payment is due. So start planning now for where you want to go. Thanksgiving, Christmas, even to go to grandma's house at Christmas, you got to start planning now because you got to start looking for airlines, and the prices at this time are not going to go down anytime soon. So don't wait till the last minute. Try doing it now. Some specials coming up. Walt Disney World has gone under an expansion. Fantasyland is almost finished expanding. They have brand new rides. They have a couple of new castles. They have Belle's Castle there with Be Our Guest in there. They just opened a new moderate resort or value resort at Walt Disney World called Art of Animation. And they just opened Finding Nemo. They opened Ariel's for The Little Mermaid. And they opened the Cars hotels. So they're open for business. It's a new value resort. And it's great to stay at Walt Disney World. Plus, right now, they're having the free dining option. So if you book by September 29th and you want to stay at Walt Disney World Resorts, you could get your meals free. So that's something to think about. And what else? Oh, yes. Our honeymooners, our romance people, our adults, Sandals is having up to 65% off on their destination. So whether it's Jamaica, Turks and Caicos, the Bahamas, also Sandals is also beaches, which is for families. The same thing, 55 to 65% off, plus also discounting on airfare. Tomorrow, in fact, Nelson's my dear husband, we're going for our annual training with Sandals. What being a travel agent to me is knowing my products. I offer, whatever I offer, I make sure I know about. Like I spoke with Robert about Royal Caribbean. I take my job and the courses very seriously. Not all travel agents get certified either in the cruise lines or the destinations that they sell, but I take the time, and that's the difference between using me and maybe somebody else down the street is that I have all these certifications all over the house here, and it may not mean something to somebody else, but to me, it knows that I know the product that I'm talking about. So, especially being somebody that's visually impaired, if I don't know what I'm selling, I can't sell it to you. So I'm going to give you my information again. That's Echevarria Travel, and our number is 631-456-5394, and our email is reservations@echevarriatravel.com. So I hope that when you're thinking about traveling, whether it's locally or on a cruise or at Walt Disney World, or we sell from pole to pole, from North Pole to South Pole. We do it all. One thing I am going to let people know in the local area, if you're in the New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, Connecticut, we are now starting bus tours. We're looking in the spring to start going to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And we are, from there, we're going to look to go to Washington, D.C., and possibly other destinations. If you're interested in doing something either for your local NFB chapter or for your chapter or for any kind of local organization other than for the NFB, we do it as well. We're also, Echevarria Travel is also the member of the Brentwood Chamber of Commerce, and we're also members of Lions International. So if you're a 501c3, we'll be glad to do a fundraiser for you, whether it's a cruise or not. Let's see what else is going on. Lenny, any calls out tonight?
We've gotten several calls from people saying that Ustream is very choppy. We just checked, and that is the case. So it's not us. It's Ustream who is our provider, so people could listen and watch. Must be having some issues, and the video and audio is a little bit choppy. We apologize for that.
Thank you for that, Lenny. And what I'll say, we got about 3 more minutes left, is that in October, this just came to me. I'm going to be honored by the vocational and rehab community in October for being a entrepreneur in New York State. This honor came from the New York State Commission for the Blind, so I want to say thank you to William Uberg and the people at the Commission for the Blind here in New York State for giving me this honor. And when it's going to be October 2nd, 2012. If you would like to attend this function, please contact me about it, and it's $30 a ticket, so we hope you can come. Again, if you'd like, I'm just going to say this one more time, I'm not going to say it next month. If you want to go with us on the NFB New Jersey cruise, please give us a call. We'll get you on the ship, and we'll get you into the group. So remember, the NFB of New Jersey sailing April 13th through 18th, 2013, which is also my birthday. So you'll get to celebrate my birthday with me, and sail with Joe and Nelson, which is going to be a really fun event. I'm going to see who's going to be thrown off the ship first. And I also want to say congratulations again to Lenny for his daughter's wedding, which I didn't get to do on the last show because I was away, but congratulations again. And we look forward to seeing you in September, where I will have another guest. And please let us know what you think. Send me some feedback. We'll talk to you soon. God bless. Have a great night. Thank you, Lenny, and have a great night, everybody.
The Echevarria Travel Show is brought to you by Echevarria Travel, home of the independent traveler since 2009, specializing in worldwide destinations for the blind community. For more information on Echevarria Travel, call Cheryl at 631-456-5394 or email her at reservations@echevarriatravel.com. All words, ideas, and contents expressed on this show are those of Cheryl Echevarria and not necessarily those of the National Federation of the Blind, the Northeast New Jersey chapter, or the WTOE Internet Radio Network. Until next time, I'm Keith Zalley.
Let's go. Cruise like a Norwegian.
The previous WTOE radio podcast is a commercial-free version of our live broadcast brought to you every Wednesday evening starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at through THRU OurEyes.org.